Whether you just watched Zootopia the year after it came out and decided you loved it, or you just decided that furry sounds pretty cool. Who the fuck thinks that? It's time to educate yourself. Not by attending Harvard University, but by watching a YouTube video from a channel with 0 subs. Don't worry, you're doing your parents proud. What is furry? Well, the first thing you should understand about furry is what it actually is. It's not an invite-only club, not a political statement, most of the time. It's not something that there are entry requirements to. Put simply, furry is a community of people that particularly like anthropomorphic animals. You know, animals you see drawn in film, television, comics, books, video games, and any medium that can present the impossible. Furries have essentially formed a community out of this concept, including furry artists, writers, fursuiters, and fursuit makers, as well as conventions and fur meets. The furries that form the community are regular people. There's no exact point when someone becomes a furry. You are furry as soon as you choose to consider yourself one. Getting involved in the fandom essentially revolves around using social media, the most popular platforms being Twitter, Telegram, Furry Amino, Fur Affinity, and YouTube. I'd definitely recommend starting off finding some furry YouTubers that you like, hopefully, including me, finding them on Twitter and following them. Over time you'll find more people that you can follow on there, usually through Twitter's suggestions or people that they retweet. The key to making friends and cultivating friendly relations is, of course, to be nice to people. Like their tweets, reply to them, maybe send a DM if you feel like it would be appreciated or if you're feeling particularly motivated or confident. I'm not particularly confident. If I saw the V8 Supercars Twitter feed, I'd probably shit myself at the possibility of sending a joke message to them. Making friends and having fun is ultimately the goal of the fandom. Some of the other platforms I mentioned, Fur Affinity, Furry Amino and Telegram, all have varying different purposes. Telegram is quite simply an app for sending messages. It's good for keeping in touch with your pals, furry or otherwise. Fur Affinity is commonly used for commissions, artwork and literature, so very much the creative arts hub. Finally, we come to Furry Amino, which is like a hub for all things furry. A hybrid of Facebook, meaning you can make your own posts on there, Twitter, and Telegram, so you can message people, but it's more specifically for furry. Now, a while back, and very recently I'm talking, it had a heavily sponsored marketing campaign on a lot of Pop Your Furs channels, and that's the common name for popular and influential furries on the community, often on YouTube or Twitter. I don't know if it's for everyone. You might find it a great place to be due to the convenience of everything there being furry related. Now, we come to some things that I haven't yet talked about. Personas, fursuits, and conventions. Personas. It's commonly thought that the first thing a new furry should do is go on a furry social media site, such as a furry subreddit, and write about how you're a new furry, you love Zootopia, and you're making a fox fursona. But please do not do this. Personas are supposed to be unique. They're personas for your own original anthropomorphic animal. You design the personality, traits, appearance, etc., and you can roleplay with it, have art made of it, or even get a fursuit made of it. Personas are by no means an essential. Just look at my channel. It's a work in progress. You can get by fine without a persona. You can even adopt one that someone has already thought out, often for a small fee of $30 to $50. But don't get stealing now, that's just scummy. Making a persona is generally a complicated endeavour, taking many moons of thought to be fully happy with your creation. It can be as simple or as complicated as you want. Markings, scars, piercings, etc. A lot of furries do have personas for the primary reason of representation. They choose to use their persona to represent them in the community. That can be their profile name, profile picture, and public appearance if they own a fursuit. I might make another video to help with creating your persona soon, but I'm really not one to talk when I don't even have a complete version to show. Onwards and upwards to fursuits. Fursuits. This was perhaps the thing that caught your eye the most about the fandom. The colourful, fluffy fursuits that you see on YouTube and at conventions en masse. You might be wondering how to get one. Well, you certainly don't go down to your local shop. The first small prerequisite is to amass thousands of dollars. Yeah, These suits are works of art, exquisite ones in fact, and everyone knows exquisite art costs a lot of dosh. Furry art, never mind fursuits, already comes at a premium. You might find that your reference sheet for your character can cost upwards of $50, ranging all the way up to $150. Fursuits take months of hard work for a maker to finish. Of course, these are bespoke and cannot be mass produced, and if you want to get a fursuit commissioned, often you'll be entering a raffle for the chance to hand over your thousands of dollars, which if you think of the time and cost of materials involved for the maker, your investment is paying for their living expenses, never mind the final product. Of course, you get what you pay for. If you pay a premium, you should get a premium fursuit, and seeing how long it is to get commissioned and finally made, you definitely want the best. It's the difference between the Suzuki Alto and the BMW 3 Series. They both have 4 tyres and a steering wheel, but you know where your money's going. You shouldn't despair if you can't afford a fursuit. Hopefully it will turn into the motivation to save money required for one. Fursuit is very much a luxury item. You do not need one to be a furry and enjoy your time in the community. Again, I can talk in much more detail in a future video about how you can get your hands on a fursuit, maybe at a discount price. Conventions. Ah yes, the other most publicised element of the fandom, the conventions. An opportunity to spend your weekend surrounded by fellow furries in and out of suits, partying, raving, all that fun stuff. I haven't been to one personally, as I live nowhere near one I'd actually be interested in attending, but if you do, and you want to attend one, then great. If you're attending a very popular one, you might end up sleeping with 3 or more other people, whether on beds or on the floor if you decide to stay in the hotel the convention happens in. Remember that at cons, you're still on planet Earth, so you should definitely behave decently. There are plenty of videos talking about this. I recommend Hawthorne Fox's video about good behaviour, and they're definitely better than my opinion, as they've actually been to a convention. Another thing to note about conventions is that you don't need a fursuit to go to one. In fact, you don't even need to be a proper furry to go to one and enjoy yourself. They're just an opportunity to hang out, have some fun, and forget about a real world. A holiday perhaps, but a holiday spent in a small space, surrounded by lots and lots and lots of people. Hopefully by now you know more about the fandom and what you can do in it, and maybe you even enjoyed my video. Furry has many cliques and aspects to it, so many to cover in one video. I have glossed over the yiffy side of the fandom, mostly because it's not really that important, or prominent if you don't want it to be. But yes, hopefully you did enjoy my video. If you feel like it deserves a like, then please order that honour. Maybe you enjoyed it so much you'd like to see more from me in the future. If that's the case, please hit the subscribe button. I love to have people on here that I can inform, entertain, and talk to. Thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you have or have had a great day. Goodbye.